I I have to admit it's a lot better for me to I have to admit that it's easier for me to not to be driving someplace. And if we all had to drive to a common place, I'm not sure where it would be, but it would be inconvenient for a good number of you. So I'm going to get started. I'll be taping this, and I'm going to ask you to type in the chat quite a bit because I'm going to be going through some basics, and I want to see whether everybody gets it. First thing is, in the chat, could you tell me, have you ever been in an environment like this before? Have you ever been in somebody who's played computer games? Okay, for Judy, never. Anybody else want to? Never before this course, okay. Come on, how about the rest of you? Okay, another. Okay, some played The Sims, yep. Never before this course. Yeah, it's going to be like The Sims. Actually, I haven't played that myself. The graphics are a little fancier, but you're going to find that you'll have some of the same capabilities. Now, what I'm going to do is be a typical teacher and talk too much in the beginning, but my goal is to get you onto some common grounds. Then I'm going to break you into teams. You're going to go off with your team, and you're going to dress up, dress down, change your avatar. We'll meet back here at 8:30, and we will then work from there. If Rich, okay, and that was also going to be my first thing. There's usually somebody who has some sound issues, and I'm going to ask, would one of you volunteer for about 10 minutes to type for Rich? Because when you break into the groups, then I'm going to troubleshoot his sound issue. But I don't want to take up too much time right now doing that. Please type in the chat, and I'll type this here. Can you all hear me? Can anyone not hear me talking? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, Rich is the only one. Rich, okay, I don't want to spend too much time working on that. Okay, did you cut out for a while? I cut out. Okay. Remind me sometimes if okay, I'm going to try to make sure my sound is working, but if I cut out, could you please let me know? Now, the first thing I want you to know, how many of you are sitting in the dark right now? Or are you in daylight? Okay, Judy's in the dark. Let's see, anybody else? Sort of. Okay, that's something you can change. And I know from pictures, sometimes people, yeah, it's dark. Look at how you can make the adjustment. And I'm going to go over some basic features. Go all the way up to the top of the screen and go to the word world. Go to world, and then scroll down to the word sun position and try changing it to midday or something. You can have different sun positions. Okay. Okay. Scroll down to the sun positions. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Okay, so first of all, you might want to be there in the light of day. Now, the second thing that sometimes is challenging is turning your camera around. Now, I know you all practice a little bit with turning your camera, but I'll teach you a couple of tricks. If you go up under the word avatar, click under avatar, and be sure that something called camera controls is clicked on. In other words, you should see a check mark next to camera controls. And if it isn't, then check it and come back. Camera controls puts some wheels and some icons in the top left part of the window. So go up under camera control, go up under avatar, make sure camera controls is turned on, and then test the wheel that shows up. One wheel, the wheel to the left, lets you click to get an aerial view. It lets you scroll the camera around that way. The one that looks more like, that's flatter looking, that moves the camera up and down, left and right. And you also can zoom in and zoom out with the plus and the minus. So that moves your camera one way. Also, right above that, you should see a couple of little icons that are supposed to look like people. If you hold your mouse over it, one says front view, side view, and rear view. So play with those a little bit and take a couple of pictures. And the picture icon is down in the bottom. It's the one that's supposed to look like a camera. So if you would please just scroll your, okay, so was everybody able to get a couple of new pictures with new angles? You know, scroll the wheel up and down. Maybe you want to take an aerial view, a side view of yourself. Let's see, and I'm going to just make sure we don't have anybody lost somewhere. I'm looking at the island map for a minute. Nope, I think you're all here. So from what I can see, you're all looking pretty good, except Stephanie feels her avatar is looking a little boring, but you'll be able to make some changes soon. And we want to make sure you all have some of the basics here, because you're going to, whoops, I actually have some slides, and if I come down off my podium, I can't change the slides, so I'll have to be sure to go back up there. But has everyone been able to move their camera a bit and take some different pictures? Okay, good. Because whether you make yourself lovely or not so lovely, you want to be able to take your pictures. Now, I was working with a middle school group in this environment, and they didn't want to have a beauty contest. They wanted to have an ugly contest. And so you're going to be thinking, okay, Judy, you're finding it now. It just is a matter of playing with the technologies. If any of you have children or no children or have nephews or nieces or watch what kids do, they get into these environments and they actually have a lot of fun because they play. And that's what you need to do, you can come back in here on your own. Problem is, as you become an adult, you don't have the same amount of time. So I'm going to give you some shortcuts. Okay, good. So everybody's taken a few pictures. And I'm moving back up here so I can turn the slides. Now, oh, another thing that's important. Let me come back. If I was working with someone this afternoon on a Mac, and their keyboard's different. So if you're a Mac person, you probably know the equivalents. But if you move your mouse around, you'll get the mouse pointer. If you hold Alt down on the keyboard on a PC, it might be Command on a Mac, I'm not sure. But you Mac people are smart, you know the equivalents. You then can click on something, like you could click on my avatar's face, and you could zoom in and zoom out. And then on a PC, I'm using the mouse wheel to do that. So supposing you want to see something in the poster behind me, you can kind of bring your mouse over the part you want to see, hold Alt on your keyboard, and then zoom in and zoom out. So try that too. See if you can zoom in and out on me. And then you could always take a picture too. Okay, so oh, you love my look. And Stephanie, I wish this was how I looked. I'm going to ask you soon. We have, I know, I think that's the fun of it. I don't want to look like me. I look like me all day long. And by the end of the day, however good I did or look at 9 o'clock, it's a whole lot worse now. So pretend this was me, and this might have been me some years ago on a good day. I see somebody slipping along in the background, but we'll catch up with them. Okay, so some basics there. Now, some of you do have on similar outfits, and there is no problem there. What you're going to be practicing, though, is you can change two things. Very easily, you can change your shape, you can change your height, you can change, you know, the spread of your eyes, the width of your mouth, and that is changing the basic avatar shape. There are also things called clothing, which are a little more complicated. If you look at my outfit, most of the clothing is skin tight, and that's for a reason. That comes from the way the clothing is actually drawn on the avatar. Now, artists make other things, like the skirt I have, which is, when I move, it actually kind of flows with me, was made by an artist, and I got this for free. And so I do have some free clothes that you could try later. Oh, good. Steve's joined us. He can have a seat and you guys can catch him up. If you look behind me, you'll see there are 6 different avatars. And those avatars were supplied by Kitely. Kitely is the company that provides this service that I have. I am renting this computer space from them. And if you bring your mouse up over the picture, you should, let me see, I'm going to try to do it at the same time to be sure I'm giving you the right directions. One of your options is to click on that avatar. And if you click on the avatar, an option comes up in the top right of your screen where you can accept or discard what they're going to give you. Now, they're going to give you a folder with the clothes and the skin and the hair that they have on. Now, you can choose to put some of those things on later or not. And putting the clothes on the avatar gets a little bit trickier. So I don't expect you to necessarily swap out your clothes unless you want to try it. And when you're in your teams, that's what you're going to try to do. And so go up and click on the avatar that you like, or click on several of them. They do honestly all look very much alike, but the server company is out of Israel, and what they did was try to get looks from different parts of the world, although everybody still looks pretty much the same to me. But if you want to have some outfits to play with, click on some of those avatars. So while I see if Steve has gotten himself seated, I ask you to try putting in some avatar clothing, and it goes into something called your inventory. So would everybody put some of the avatar clothes in your inventory? And I will explain inventory in a minute. When you save something, that's where it automatically goes. And Steve, it's Eileen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Steve?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You can take a seat, and
Yeah, I'm for some reason I can't sit down. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I did the right click. I pointed at the chair and I can't
well,
sit
don't
down.
worry. We're just about to move around anyway. So
Okay.
that's no big deal. I'm going to put you in teams, and Rich, congratulations. He's got his mic working now too. And you can always text chat with one another, and I like to encourage a lot of text chatting. It's not rude. Please check, text to one another. But it's going to be easier if you can use your headset. Another thing too, I told people, Steve and Rich, I have a microphone right next to my mouth. I have a headset on. If I have that, I can leave it turned on. If you don't have something like that, we'll get your background noise. So if you don't have a microphone right next to your mouth, then what you should do, yeah, and do chat. I don't know if there's a way to do a secret chat. There probably is. I don't know how to do it. If you type in the chat box in the bottom and then press enter, it'll go into kind of a group chat. And there are many, many, many features in this environment. It's very robust. I'm just going to teach you a couple of them so that we can get functional. But I do hope you're intrigued and come back and learn more. Another feature that somebody just pointed out to me that I like, along the bottom, there's something that looks like two people icon. And if you click on that, it shows you everybody who's nearby you. And that's kind of interesting to know too if you get lost. So far we've gone over how to basically move the camera, how to take some pictures. And I'd like all of you to put at least one or two of those avatar clothing things. Click on it. Now, what happened when you clicked on those, it went into your inventory. And I'd like you to open the inventory. Celise, if you're stuck in the aerial view, press escape on your keyboard. Sometimes your camera gets hung up. Generally, if you get hung up, escape is a good way to get out. And please text as I'm talking. I might miss something that you ask. If somebody else has the answer, please text to everybody. Some of you guys are more proficient than others here. And so what you want to do is look at your inventory. Your inventory is on the bottom. Yeah, it's under the app. Well, it's probably in a couple of places. The place where I'm seeing it is, it looks like a suitcase on the bottom in from the right. If you click that, when you opened if you accepted the avatar clothing, it's under here someplace. Now I think I have to look. I actually didn't accept it because I've accepted it before and I have too many items in my inventory. But if you open the inventory, yep, and you can get as many. There are a lot more places where you can get clothes. I just wanted you to have a couple of things so you can practice. When you open inventory, if you go under recent, you see the button that says recent? When the box popped up. Yes, Amy, you did the right thing. How do I accept them? I clicked on the avatar in the front and clicked accept. Yep, that's all you had to do. Click accept. Now you have to find out where it went. And to find out where it went, open your suitcase on the bottom, which is inventory. Yeah, and then go up under the recent tab. That should make it easiest to find. You know, you actually have quite a few things. And in a few weeks, you're going to actually put more things in your inventory. And I'm going to have a little build-off between you and another class. Yep. You can actually, on this island, you can take almost anything you see and put it into your inventory. You can take chairs, you can take rugs, you can take trees. And in a later thing, we're going to have you do that. You're going to go on a scavenger hunt. But for right now, just grab a couple of clothing. So anybody need me to go over that again? Did you all find a little bit of clothing? Okay, let me see. Now, I'm going to show you a few more things and break you into teams. Good. And what I'm going to try to do is, your team is to just get together and to start figuring out how to change your appearance together. Your team is also to try to get to know one another and to also have a little fun this late at night. So in your team, you're going to try to make your avatar look different, the same. There are tutorials that I sent out that you might have open on your computer that just show you how to change things. But I see some of you already are doing this and it's not hard. You don't have to make any particular look for your avatar. It's just a practice. But you could have some fun with your friends. And what you want to do is, I'm just getting a note from a student who's having a little trouble getting in, but I'm going to get to her in a bit. So let's just, kind of where you're sitting, you can just stand up for a minute, and you will automatically stand up. If you right-click on yourself and then go to, let me see, I have to do it. Go to Appearance, and your avatar will turn around. If you can edit your shape pretty easily. So just find out where that is, and you can see how you can play with your size. You can make yourself taller, shorter, fattier, skinnier. Every time I make myself look close to myself, I wind up going back to my avatar. So you can make a lot of changes. And then you can bring the clothing in. And I see Chris has already gone down to his skeevies, and we're going to, excuse me, not Chris, Steve. And so you guys can help each other, or you can wind up coming back here and getting outfits. But I think you've all found that one, it's not hard to actually get moving on some basics. Okay, and I think, and you can take a picture of yourself, you can take a picture of the class. Remember how to take the pictures, because it really is fun, and I'll be asking you to save some pictures because I want you to have a record that you can bring into the class. And so I'm going to try to open my class here, and I'm going to save a snapshot. Okay. And if you save it to your disk, that means you're saving it on your computer. You can then email them out or whatever. Okay, so you're a great looking group, and you're going to get even greater looking. I think um, we have some interesting stuff going on. Now, once you finished, maybe you could just sit in your seat for a minute because I'm going to show you a couple more fun things before we leave, before you leave in your groups. And Rich is having trouble, but that's why you're going to go into teams. And Steve's picked an interesting outfit. I know. Sometimes, I probably should tell you too, if you're a little too ambitious, you can remove your clothes. I think they have skeevies. They have some basic underwear on the groups. But what you can sometimes do is, and I remember when I was working with little kids, I had to kind of dummy up all the avatars. So I wouldn't. So anyway, we won't say what is this? What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. So what happens on Marion Island stays on Marion Island. And now I want you to do one more thing before I send you off with gestures. But open the map at the bottom. That's the icon you use to kind of hop around quickly. You can fly, you can do that, but it takes a long time. If you open the map at the bottom, you'll see all the green dots are where we are. Now, I mocked up this island in a way. Do you see yellow dots and green dots, kind of big yellow dots and green dots? When you open your map, can you see that? Okay, Stephanie can. The map is the icon on the bottom that's supposed to look like a folded map. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in from the right. Yeah, if you click that open, you can drag that map around. That's the aerial view of the islands. And what I did was put yellow dots where I've put some chairs that you can go and sit in. You don't have to sit in chairs, but people tend to like to sit in them. And then with your group, I'm going to send you off in groups of 3. Join with your group. I'll tell you which dot you should click on. So you all get together. Start helping each other change outfits. You know, some of you are going to be better at this. Some of you will remember something. Some will remember others. Your idea is to help your team. And then what you do is, and help them if people are having trouble with speech, you know, help each other get comfortable in this environment. And what you then do is, once you've gotten some basics, you can fly off together, you can walk off together, you could open the map and jump to some other places together. You don't have to stay in one place, but stay in one place until you find your team and have a little fun. I'm going to try to get to the different teams. I have some other clothes to share. If I find your team and you want some clothes, I could try to pass them over to you. But for now, use your team to help you build. And Steve, I can see you're typing, but I'm not seeing words come up. So be sure you press enter at the end of it. That might be why the words aren't coming up. Or maybe I've got something that's, let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure why Steve isn't coming up. Okay, now, so I'm going to send you to those spots. So everybody had the spots. Yeah, Steve, I'll help you in a few minutes. I'll send others off and get you started. And but one fun thing, last fun thing, then you get into teams. Make sure your team is back here at 8:30. Now, I want you to see if you can remember one other thing. We'll see which team remembers this best. Open the map again, because I'm giving you a lot of directions. You see where we are, we're all the green dots. But right now, you're just facing me. When you come back at 8:30, we're going to spend a little time debriefing. Look over, there's a yellow dot a little bit north of us now, and it looks like there are some purple things around it. So be sure, open your map, find the yellow dot with purple. Okay, you all found that? When your team comes back, go there, because there are seats there that face one another. Okay, so let's see if somebody on the team remembers how to get back. So, step number 1, go with your team to the spot I assign you, help each other get dressed, change your avatar, mosey around after you've done the basics, say hello to one another, get to know, then come back at 8:30 for a quick debriefing where each one of you is going to get, your 45 seconds to say what the experience was for you. And remember that you will then be going back into the course. Be sure to take at least 4 snapshots. Bridge became a naked woman and can't fix it. Don't worry. I will help. I will help these people. I'm wondering. Let's see. And you can change your identity. That's something else to think about. You're to think about this as a teacher also. What if you're dealing with kids? There are lots of issues with identity. So these are things to mull about. Now, just to limber up before I put you in groups, hit Control and G on your keyboard for a PC. I'm not sure what it is for a Mac. I apologize. But Mac people are usually pretty good at figuring it out. We've got some entertainment going on tonight. You should see something called gestures. Control and G. Oh, thanks, Steve. So it's the same. Try out some of these moves. I think if you click it 2 times, it plays. Or you could click it once and then click the play button at the bottom. Now, I may not feel too energetic right now, but my avatar looks energetic. All right, some of you, okay. Christine's dancing on her chair. Let's see. I see Caitlin's taking a bow. Mary looks very happy. Steve just looks sporty. And he's going at, Stephanie is doing head loops, or whatever you call his headstand. Amy is moving into a relaxing pose. I think we just haven't gotten, let's see, who's still in her seat? Okay, yeah. Everybody's gotten up, moving, blowing kisses. I saw the one today that I was working with the high school principal, and I said, oh no, this is the one the kids are going to find. Control and G. If you hold those both down on your keyboard at the same time, you should see the menu come up. Everything is in multiple places. You can find this somewhere else, but that's the shortcut, and that's what I remember. Okay, so you're limbered up. I'm going to open my map for a minute, and okay, let me see. I'm just going to go by the people I'm seeing closest to me here. Amy, Stephanie, and Christine. Amy, Stephanie, and Christine Bishkoff. I hope I said it right. Amy, Stephanie, and Christine. Stephanie Mullen, Amy Smith, Christine Bishkoff. I'm going to ask you 3 to stay together, at least initially. Open your map, and in the top island, the top left island, there is a yellow dot towards the bottom left of that island. It's right next to a green dot and kind of a maroonish rectangle, partial rectangle. That's a building. If Amy, Stephanie, and Christine go there, the 3 of you can start dressing up. And remember to come back to that other space at 8:30. Okay, so you 3 can zip away. Let me see. Now I've got Mary. Let's see. I'm seeing Mary, Judy, and Alexandria. Mary, Judy, and Alexandria. If you open your map, I see the other three went there right away. The same island as the other three just went to, the upper left top island, there's another yellow dot. A little bit towards the center of the bottom part of that island. Double click to go there. And let me see, who did I say? That was Judy, Alexandria, and somebody else. Okay. Now, let's see. Celeste, Caitlin, and Liana. Celeste, Caitlin, and Liana. If you would open your map and let's send you over to, I'll send you to a fun place. Bottom right island, bottom right island, there's a yellow dot. That's over near the amusement park. So if you three would go over there and then come back to that other space at 8:30. Okay, I was just trying to help somebody else, sorry. Okay, so Steve and Rich. Rich, how about you coming forward? Let's see if we can get you two guys dressed up. Okay. Rich, can you walk your avatar up here? Steve, I'm going to see. I have some clothing. I think you can walk through these chairs. I'm not sure. They should be phantom. Steve, let me see what clothes I have in my inventory. I've got a sheepskin jacket. Okay, I'm going to try to send a jacket over to you. And, okay. Okay, Rich, you're looking fine now. You found your clothing. Let's see. Steve, what I'd like you to do is, let's see. Did you put one of the avatar outfits up on the top into your inventory? And you do that by holding your mouse over the outfit, and I'll put you two together, and you could even stay right here and keep on trying on different outfits and just come back at 8:30. But Steve, look at these 6 different avatars up on the top. Is there one of them that would be of your particular interest? Let me see. Have I lost Steve? Let me see. Where did he go? I don't know if he signed out. Rich, can you take the mic and talk to me now? Can you talk all right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
That's perfect.
Hi.
Okay, so you figured out your outfit. Now, I don't know if we
Yeah,
lost
that's-
Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Where is he?
He was here a minute ago.
Yeah, it disappeared, I think, right?
Yeah, sometimes if you have computer issues, he might have gotten signed off. Let's hope he can get back in shortly. I'll keep you here so that when he gets back, he can have somebody. But let me see if I can find some items. Were you able to like change your shape and your eyes and some of those things? Why don't you try that while I...
Figure that out. Yeah.
You figured it out?
I haven't done it yet, but I go to edit shape and then.
Yeah, why don't you try that while we wait for Steve to come back?
Okay.
Okay, I'm looking through my inventory to see what things. My problem is I have so many things in my inventory that it becomes hard to just find one thing.
How do I change my hair?
Hair's a little bit harder. Hair is actually an attachment. It's called an attachment.
Okay.
So you have a wig on right now. So
Okay.
if what you do, so there are two ways. You've got hair as a wig. You can also grow your own hair, but I can't remember where that button is. It might be under shape. But what you can do though is grab one of those avatars. If you look at the avatars on either side of this billboard,
Right.
okay,
And
which,
that's whose hair I'll get, right?
yeah, but then you have to kind of put it on, which can
Right.
be a couple of steps. But why don't you pick an avatar that you kind of like the hair? And they all really look the same. There are places you can go and get more avatars and get different outfits and get different hairs. And hair is actually two things. Hair is an attachment, so it moves a little bit separately. Oh, okay, I see you. You changed your hair right in front of me.
Which one? Yep.
Yep. Okay. And let's see, actually, I'm not sure which hair you did pick. Oh, okay, I'm turning around. Now I can see your face. Interesting, interesting. Oh, did you come around to get some outfits? It looks like you have some neat clothes on.
Yeah. I did.
Oh, good, you did. Yeah, no, you're looking pretty unique. Have you played with these games before? Or have played with games?
Earlier today, about around 5 o'clock today, I was familiarizing myself with it. But other than that, I haven't. No.
Oh, okay. No, you're a quick study then. You picked this up. I'm just going to look, make sure I'm not getting any urgent messages from Steve. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. He could have moved on to join another group. Okay, well you're looking pretty good. You've got 15 minutes before we join. What you can do is open the map and you can see where some of these other groups are clustered. You could crash one of those parties, say hello, and see what they're doing. And it's a chance to get to meet some people in the class. So why don't you find some people and I'll wait to hear for Steve. So have fun.
Sounds good.
See you in a bit.
Right.
Putting my things back on. Stephanie, I think you've done this before, right? This isn't new to you.
Microphone test.
Yeah, very good. Let's see. Rich is here. Yeah, and Rich.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep, we made it. That was fun.
Did you find some good outfits? Or did you just...
Guess I'll come sit by you.
I still say it beats driving. Christine, you can have a seat if you like. Yeah. So how did you guys do today? Did you, how did you, okay. How did you do today? Whoops. I don't know if you can hear me. It's Eileen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
fun. It was funny.
Did well, I think.
you think. Well, there's no specific rule. I think if you survived, you got around. And let's see. Oops, Amy disappeared, but now she's back. Oh,
I
your
just
voice
zoomed
won't
in on
work.
your face. It's cracking me up.
I just zoom into my face when it's scary.
I know. Take a picture once you've zoomed in. Oh, here comes
Yeah.
some other people. Hi, let's see. Who have we got? Judy, Amy. I hope you got some brilliant ideas. Christine's back. Let's see. It's funny, I like to ask this class what they want to be. Stephanie, we're getting some feedback on your mic. So I'm going to be trying to get everybody to make some comment. Rich is feeling his oats at the end of the day. I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to do loops. And you're all free to take a seat or stand, but somehow taking a seat does make it seem a little less tiring. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take some pictures of everybody sitting. Like, I'm sure you wish your classes sat nice and calm. Amy's having a bum night. From my experience, microphones are the hardest thing to get working right. And that's kind of a universal. There are many ways to fix mics and change them. Also, there are sometimes if your bandwidth isn't so strong at a point, it's going to affect your speech. Hopefully you can all at least hear, and when I ask you your thoughts, you can type in the chat. So we don't have much time left, so I'm going to just kind of go around. I see Caitlin Murray to my right. Caitlin, can you take the mic, and if your mic isn't working, just type in the chat. Any reflections on being able to change your appearance? Did you like it? Would you like it? Would you do it? Just some quick thoughts on being able to change what you look like so easily. Now, I'm not sure what to figure whether Caitlin didn't hear me or whether she's having mic trouble. But what I'll do is I see Chalise next to her. And Chalise, can you take your mic and explain what you thought quickly about your experience with modifying your avatar? Okay, I wasn't talking right then. Let's see. Well, I'm going to go around. I know that Judy says she can talk. Okay. All right. Judy, how about you taking the mic?
This was fantabulous. I was very excited. It was kind of neat, but scary. Like I got some things of color in my hair, and I really just prefer to be regular, just me, myself, and I. But this is different. It's different.
And you kind of think about with kids, you know, what they might think, you know, and there is a group that's going to be coming in on the research end. They had some challenges with the technology, so they're going to be talking about some research into this. Let's see, who else can talk? Alexander, you said you can talk. What did you think? Would you change yourself around? And what if you were a kid? What would you do?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you now.
Okay. I really love to play around with my outfit. I like to dye my hair. I haven't quite figured out how to change my hair up yet, but once I do, it's gonna be fun. And I think it's really fabulous for kids. I've actually met a lot of people who identify with the opposite gender, so it's perfect that you can choose who they want to be, and it's good for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of gender studies going on here too. Um, and now since hair seems to be a focus, and we have Christine, I hope Christine Bischoff, I hope I'm saying your last name right. Can you turn your mic on and just tell us about your ventures? And you're in a business where you help people change their appearance in real life.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we had fun. We were changing like our hair colors. Stephanie went bald because she put a hat on her head. It was fun changing the different images. Rich hung out in the tree, and he was our lookout.
Well, everybody needs a lookout, especially if you're changing your hair and you're going to go bald for a while. Okay, so Rich was the lookout. And I don't know if this will put you out of business, Christine, since you do real hair cutting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Since it felt like we were fooling around. Oh, that's funny. Stephanie, why don't you take the mic and explain what you were talking about there?
Okay, I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Yes, I can. Yeah, I just wanted to put mine down. So I didn't need to.
No, we were just really having fun, fooling around with the different options, and I think I was naked again, like completely. And we were picking on Rich's hairdo, and so then he was in a tree, and we are like, "Quick, everybody, be cool! The teacher might be coming." So, it was fun. It was a fun experience.
And I love hearing fun because this should be, and you know from school, you let the kids play with the manipulatives first. You know, they need to have some fun with it. And
it's funny. It's funny you say that. My tech department just got 20 new VR headsets, and I started to do the whole like, wow, the academic possibilities, blah blah blah. And he said to me, no. He's like, I just want to let the kids play with these. Like, that's what I want them to do. It was pretty cool.
Right. That's really true. You got to play with it first. And amazing, you got the headsets. That I'm going to want to hear more about that.
I know, me too.
Oh, exciting. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some kind of a lecture series on that before too long, and I'll have to catch up with you and find out how you're doing. So let's see. Anybody else can take the mic. I think, Rich, your mic was working. How did you feel being the lookout while everybody was changing their clothes and making sure the teacher didn't show up? Rich, be sure to toggle your mic on because I know it was working. Your mic was working. Okay, I don't know. Maybe someone wants to text Rich and just tell him.
Okay,
yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
I had the check mark on there, but I guess I have to hit the other button as well. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. I had some trouble choosing the correct outfits and getting a hairstyle I liked. They said my hair looked a little murderous, and my character is a little scary. But yeah, I think kids would have a lot of fun with this, playing with it and personalizing their character.
Yeah, and they're doing this. You know, if you know kids, have kids, yeah, they're doing this.
They'll
So,
probably be better at this and pick it up quicker than we do.
oh, definitely, most definitely. I was working with my grandchildren this summer. They found me to be quite silly, but I think we want to get into the worlds where they are. Because that's where they're going. Let's see if we can make it educational. But they smell education, so you have to be careful. Let's see. Now, who else's mic's working? Mary, was your mic working? Can you turn your mic on and tell us something about your experience? Okay. To turn your mic on, it's a toggle. You have to have the little check mark checked. That has to right next to the microphone, the top right of the microphone. Then you just turn the mic on and off. So anyway, I don't know if we're going to get through to Mary. Steve, I think you can talk. Somebody just said hello. Who is that? Was that you, Mary?
Is mine working right now or no?
Oh, is that Chalise? Yeah. somebody's working. I can't always tell from the here whether whose it is, but why don't you say hello and tell us your experience? And I think that's Chalise, right?
Is it me? Am I working? I can't imagine. I've been trying to do this. Can anyone hear me? Is it really quiet?
No, no, I can hear you very well. I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good.
Don't turn yourself off. I think you turned yourself off. Click
Am
back
I
on.
working now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about your experience a little bit.
Okay, so I was kind of missing out on the fun of everybody because they were laughing and I was laughing with them. But no, I kind of got here early and was playing with it a little bit. I have a crazy hairdo, but I think this would be really great. And like you said, the kids would definitely. I mean, my husband has 9 younger siblings, so they play Fortnite and they do lots of other things, and they would catch on way quicker than we would. But I think it's a great outlet for those kids who don't necessarily like the way they look or they feel that not that that's rightfully so, but a lot of kids don't like the way they look, and maybe they could kind of see this as an escape where they can be whatever they want to be. So I personally like it. I don't look anything like my avatar at all, so I really enjoyed playing around and working, listening to my group.
Yeah, and I think we all, we'll get more comfortable with this environment. So don't worry if your mic wasn't working. We're learning, honestly, how to deal with different handicaps and disabilities. I had a situation where I couldn't be virtually present for a while, and being able to come in through technology really saved me in so many ways. So let me see, who else? Steve, I don't think we've heard from you. I know you had your mic working. Can you turn yours on and say something about your experience? Okay, and if he can't, we'll just come back to him another time. Let's see, Caitlin, I think you were in the dark sound-wise for a while, but I think you said you got your mic working. Caitlin, can you say hello? Steve, we are talking. I think we're talking. I can see the waves coming out of my head. Okay. Oh, sorry, Caitlin. We'll have to live without you. What about Liana? If I'm pronouncing it right. Liana, can you say hello? Liana, can you take the mic?
Hello?
Okay. Yes, it's working. Okay, good.
I really wasn't very sure.
Oh, don't worry. Now just tell us what your experience was, though. Your multifaceted
Yes.
experience.
Celeste and Caitlin managed to look like twins. I don't know how they did that. That was funny. And we were trying to figure out the hair and we couldn't do that, but I think it's a really good opportunity to kind of explore the ability to look a little bit different, like Amy was saying, if they don't like the way they look. So I think it's a really good opportunity to kind of play around with that. And yeah, I mean, it was fun. It's a good learning experience, still kind of learning as we go.
And I think you want to model that for your students. This is kind of extreme technology. You probably won't have something like this in your class right away. Although at Stephanie's school, they're moving in these directions with the 360 cameras, where this is coming. It's not stable enough yet. There are still issues. You probably won't see it in the classroom right away. But any of your kids who are working with computers at home that are powerful enough, they're going to be working in these type of environments and spending more time there than they are doing on their homework. So the challenge is, how do we as teachers use all of these tools to create real learning? So did I hear from everybody who can take the mic? I don't want to, if anybody can take the mic and hasn't had a chance to talk, had a chance to say your 2 cents, please let me know. Okay, Steve's back. I'm going to have to jet out soon myself, and I'm very thankful that I'm not sending you out into the dark, cold night right now. I hope you're in your cozy house. But Steve, do you have any parting comments? And I invite you all to come back here. This is your island. We sometimes have classes going on. Just come in and listen, or just wander around the islands. But come in, practice. In a few weeks, you're going to have a build off with another group. I'm going to send you off to do some building, see if your teams can work together. So yeah, I'm glad. I love the word fun. I really hope at the end of a long day, you've had some fun. You played with this, and it starts the creative juices for down the road when tools like this do become available in schools. So, Steve, you have a closing comment about?
Once I get the hang of this, I think it'll be a good experience. But since I'm still a beginner, I'm trying to figure it out.
And keep that memory green. Your students are beginners. You know what you want them to learn. They're beginning. So it's not bad to be humbled a little bit and realize what their life is like. So anyway, I'm going to say goodnight. I did make a recording for anybody who had trouble with hearing, or we have some people who are going to be contributing a research piece. So all of you, please, I hope you've taken at least 4 snapshots, because you have a little assignment to think about this experience and write about it. And those who couldn't come in and join us are going to be telling you about some research into this area. So thank you all for coming and putting up with this. I think I'm very proud of you. It's a big challenge, but you now know the basics. Come back anytime you want to change up your outfits, and I'll see you virtually in a couple of weeks, and I'll see you online all the time. So thank you for a nice class. I'm going to say goodbye. Stay as long as you can, or leave whenever you're ready. Good night.